You must be wondering why I'm smiling away to glory. The day I heard Mr. Lambert speak, it was the autumn morning of 2015, I decided that I wanted to be a part of the school. And now, I feel so honored, standing here at the platform that Mr. Lambert often uses. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Viha Kedia, and I'd like to begin my speech by asking you all to close your eyes. Take deep breaths. Forget about anything and everything. Forget about those early morning pickups and drop-offs. Forget about the ridiculous Hessa Street traffic, and instead focus on the lull of my voice. Don't worry about the world coming to an end today. It's already tomorrow in Australia. Forget about everything. Everything you do is perfect. Even the process of making mistakes is perfect. Like when you get the wrong shade of lipstick at Sephora. It's okay to get the wrong shade. It's all part of the learning process. You have a role to play in this universe, and you are playing it perfectly. You are important, no more than other people, but take a moment to zoom in on your importance. For some, that may be coming into school every day. For some, it is to provide the best for their children. You are in bliss. Slowly, open your eyes now. This is Satori. Satori is a part of achieving Zen, which focuses on intuitive enlightenment and awakening. Okay, I know, that may have sounded like a whole load of gibberish. So let me put this into a more relatable perspective. It's like when you get the message saying sale at Gucci. What's the first thing that pops into your mind? Well, for my mom, it's the fact that she could finally afford to get that bag that she's always wanted. But now, it's a competition. She has to make sure to get it before anyone else. And that is essentially Satori. All she thinks about at that point in time is the Gucci bag. Nothing else is on her mind. Satori is, simply put, a return to the original, natural condition of the mind. Earlier, I said Satori means awakening. You see, spiritual awakening, or Satori, is not something that can be understood easily unless you've experienced it yourself. Whereas, animals are constantly enlightened and connected to the cosmos. Imagine this. Deep in the jungles of Africa, there's a lion that thinks, I need to run faster than the gazelle. And the gazelle is thinking, well, I need to run faster than the lion. And then dawn breaks. There is no time to think about anything. All they have to think about at that point in time is running. Because essentially, it's survival of the fittest. And that's Satori. Running is the only thing that matters at that point in time, and so that's what they think about. However, only humans have lost this original being of Satori. I guarantee you that if I picked any single person in this auditorium right now, they would not be thinking of the speech alone. While that may be because my speech is a bit boring, it's also because, well, we aren't in our state of Satori. I've never found Satori in a person. Okay, fine, well, that's actually a lie. The only times I have found Satori in a person is when they're playing Fortnite. I know, that may sound a bit far-fetched, but it's the truth. Recently, I went to India, and I saw my cousin sitting for hours on end playing that game without getting up from his seat once. I mean, not even to go to the bathroom. The kind of commitment in that can only be described as Satori. Whereas, as I explained before, humans have lost this original state of consciousness. So, is the solution to become animals? Like Darwin pointed out, did we not directly evolve from them? And now, all I'm asking for you to do is go back. Go back to your original state of Satori. You could be thinking, okay, what is the point of this speech? What am I really going to do with Satori in my life? I'm going to answer that question by telling you a short story. Every single day, my mother says, stop being on the phone, it distracts you from your work. I come to realize that my mother could be slightly right. Why? You ask? Well, it's not like I'm always thinking, should I Snapchat my friend or something? It's like it's just there in my mind, in my subconscious. What I mean is that every single day, instead of thinking of that one thing, human beings have the tendency to think of lots of different things at once. It's like when I'm trying to study for that test. By the end, my whole page is covered in an abnormal amount of doodles. It's not because I find studying boring, well, it is because of that also, but it's because I'm not in my state of Satori. Because Satori is bliss. It's like, you know Black Tap, it's a milkshake place, one of my favorites. It's like when the waiter comes in with your milkshake and he sets it down on the table. All you can see and feel and taste at that point in time is that milkshake, that blissful amalgamation of whipped cream, ice cream, chocolate chips, and all those things combined make my feeling of Satori. So if you take that feeling and imagine every single day of your life being that feeling, well, that's what Satori will give you, eternal bliss. I mean, the stories of people who have achieved Satori are amazing. A man called John Lewis had a near-death experience which jolted his consciousness in indescribable ways. He said he felt fresh, like a disease had been lifted from his brain. So my speech can't tell you how to achieve Satori. The closest thing we have come to solve that question is to get Satori through a sudden moment of self-realization. I know that may have sounded like a big fancy word, so let me break this down for you. Self-realization. That means to see into one's true self. In other words, to find your inner peace. So I asked my friend, how do you find your inner peace? So she asked someone and they said, the only way to find inner peace is to finish what you started. So what my friend did was she finished 2 whole bags of M&Ms and a chocolate cake, and she told me she felt much better. So that's the bliss, the happiness. That is Satori. When I was 5 years old, my mother said happiness was the key to life. So when my teacher asked me to write down, what do you want to be when you grow up? I wrote down happy. So that's what I'm trying to come at. The end goal of Satori is pure happiness. Going back to that innocence and happiness of when you were 5 years old. The point in time when all humans will be one with another is when they achieve Satori. Our biggest goals should be achieved with Satori. The final goal should be Satori, and then everything else will fall in place. Thank you so much.